Welcome back to episode 7 of Should We Have Watched That?
I'm Soraya.
And I'm Amanda.
We went to the museum.
We did.
And we saw 3 journeys.
Yeah.
Now, I was confused. Not at the exhibit. That's not what confused me.
The Fringe website.
Yes.
It said the duration was 7 hours and 30 minutes.
Yep. We were concerned, but we were ready to dedicate.
We were. We had the whole day free
out.
until later in the evening.
Yep. And then it turned out that it was not a time-sensitive issue.
And in fact, we got there too early before the museum even opened.
Yeah. Which we were, like, at least it shows that, you know, we could go to shows 5 minutes before.
We're keen.
We're keen. We were ready. We were... So this is completely at the first level of the WA museum. It's you can spend as much time as you like there. It's not time sensitive at all.
Yeah, so it's essentially under the visual arts and film genre on the website. It is an exhibit.
Yeah.
And it's simplified form.
It's kid friendly.
Yeah.
There was lots of families when we went, which was nice. Like, the other people that were waiting with us to get into the museum were families, which I guess it is school holidays still, so that makes sense. We went on a Thursday morning.
Yes.
So it says 9:30 on Fringe World website. You can turn up whenever the museum is open. You don't need to be there at 9:30.
Yeah, you do not need to be there at 9:30.
So we have, as it's called, 3 journeys to go through.
Yeah.
First of which was bush mechanics.
Yep.
So I think they're all very separate in their own right, threaded together with Indigenous culture.
Yeah.
I liked bush mechanics because of the amount of interactive stuff there was. We chose to do the guided audio tour.
Yeah,
and
we
I
did,
think
which was
a good choice.
It was nice to have that option as well. The lady was so lovely who helped us with...
Who gave us the audio stuff.
And we did ask her, I asked her, I was like, is there anything that we need to make sure that, you know, how did I phrase this?
I think you said time sensitive, and then she was like, what? And so I said live.
Yeah.
And that's where we went wrong.
Yes. So we missed out on the VR experience, which is a bummer.
Yeah. So there are 3 times to see 3 different show times for the VR experience. I think it's 10:30. I want to say 11:30 and 3:30. That might be incorrect, though. Please check with the museum when you go. I think when you go, there will be... You can either start the exhibit, then do the VR, and then go back to the exhibit. Like, choose
your own journey.
Choose your own adventure, even. But journey is more in keeping with the theme.
That's true.
You nailed it.
Thank you. So I think I went into this with a bit of a critical interior brain. So for those of you who don't know, prior to studying acting, I did a Bachelor of Interior Architecture with honours, and my favourite theme, well, not theme, but kind of space to explore was exhibition spaces and performative and participatory spaces. So I went in with a kind of curator mindset. But in all honesty, I think that they did a pretty darn good job, because curation's really difficult, man.
I believe you.
To keep people's
engaged, like people engaged.
Yeah, to keep people engaged.
Attention.
Especially in this day and age, like, good God, it's tricky.
It is.
And you've got to go in there with the mindset of that you do want to be engaged, which I think we definitely did. And I kind of said to Sass that when I go to museums, because I'm such a nerd when it comes to that stuff, like, I'm such a completionist that I want to see everything.
So let me tell you how bummed she was that we ran out of time to see the VR experience.
I was upset.
We can go back to that,
yes,
because you don't hand in your ticket, I don't believe, until the VR experience.
Yeah.
So we have ample opportunity to go back during the festival.
And I'd like to.
Yeah. I also haven't experienced VR before, and I would like to. Um,
And that's just another way of consuming the information.
yeah.
As well. But yeah, I love exhibitions. I think it's such a great way to learn in a palatable way. It's interactive, which is what I really love about it. I mean, I already said like participatory and performative kind of spaces are my jam. So it was fun to have that mindset going into it with, I guess, a theatrical background as well. I really enjoyed it. I think like this is going to be quite different to what we haven't done a visual arts exhibition
and
review yet.
Even just we haven't done a daytime review of anything.
Yeah,
and I think that like it being on during the day allows you to consume it more purely. That sounds really wanky, but I think it's
true.
Yeah.
And I think it's just I don't think the word wholesome is correct for that as well, but yeah, no, I think I think you nailed it.
It makes you feel at whole.
Yeah,
I think is a good way to
drop the sum.
Yeah. There's something really like, so we have bush mechanics as the first part of the exhibit, then it moves into I don't know how to say this without butchering it. It's a car wreck that, so I'm not going to attempt it because I don't want to get it incorrect. But it is a car wreck that has been lovingly renewed into a multifaceted instrument.
Oh, I died. Guys, I died. I literally nearly started. I was getting quite emotional when I was watching that video about explaining...
Video, not the projection?
The projection, but then I watched the projection and I kind of got an understanding, but then the video just drilled it home to me as to how important this was and just how much love had been poured into this car wreck. And so please don't miss it because it's actually around the corner and it's almost very easy to walk past.
So you have the truck, the ute, the car, which is the main focal point of this part of the exhibit. Yeah. And then you have the opportunity to go right around the car, go left.
Yes.
There is a small room with another video playing.
Projection, yeah.
And it is beautiful.
It explains the journey of that car and it was beautiful and I was just in awe of the craftsmanship, the collaborative nature of it, and like how multifaceted this car was and how it was turned into an instrument. I couldn't get over that. That was incredible to me.
There was a moment where strings were like, it looks like strings. It's like fencing wire that were used and people were playing on it with a bow. Both Amanda and I play the violin, but Amanda more so than me. And she lost her mind when she saw people bring out a bow and play like on the video. And
start playing this car percussion instrument. I was mind blown by that aspect of it. I
also loved the projection onto the car. That was gorgeous. There's a moment of like these shadows lining the base of the car, and they start out looking like flames, like just black shadow flames, and then they turn into slowly a tree, but a bush tree, like a mallee or something like that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you have the sounds of the artist, and the didgeridoo just does things.
Yeah.
To my
viscerally.
Yeah. It takes my breath away.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed that that the lady who was speaking on this projection of this car explained the metaphors behind the drawings.
Was it Shirley? Shirley Purdy?
I'm not sure.
She was one that I pointed out.
I remember you pointing her out in the 15-minute kind of video explanation of how the car was made, but I'm not sure if it was her on the projection.
Right.
But I just really liked that they were explaining, like, just like about forgiveness and the resemblance of nature and its connection to us and our emotions and
how we renew each
yeah,
year, each day, each month.
Yeah, and I just walked away thinking, this is why, like, after that video of showing how 10 artists had collaborated on this new percussive vehicle, that I was like, this is what the arts is about, like, collaboration. It's about bringing minds together, different perspectives, learning, and just turning something, like, also the upcycling and the recycling of the car was incredible to me as well. Like, I remember walking away and just being like, I feel like we're just so ungrateful as humans, like, in this day and age. I don't know.
Just, like, leaving
just
these wrecks
reflective.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When now this has become this incredible artifact of people coming together and creating something beautiful, and it's done this full-on journey and it's still usable as a vehicle, but also it's so much more than that.
It wasn't usable as a vehicle, this one.
Oh, sorry.
This one was transported on a big truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just... I think it made sense from bush mechanics to this as well.
I was just about to say that. Just a little hive mind over here. I think that was very clever in the exhibition to put bush mechanics first. To have that, because if you haven't seen the 90s show on, which is the bush mechanics show, this was a kind of homage to it. And how the bush mechanics, they take the limited resources they have available to them and they manage to make a car work if something goes wrong. Like, there was a little video of one man putting heaps of spin effects, so that really tough grass, into a tyre to be, like, because the balloon of the tyre had
I don't
punctured.
speak car.
So you have the outer shell of a tyre, and then you know the thing you pump up with air?
Yeah.
That thing wasn't there. So you need to stuff it with something.
Yeah, and spin effects came in.
And spin effects, that's where it comes in handy. And then they shoved it back onto the car and it worked fine.
Yeah.
But
Not
just
clever.
Ingenious, very creative
And
solutions.
then, clever to Cleverman.
Yeah. Oh, just briefly before we move on to Cleverman, in between the Cleverman exhibit and this beautiful percussive car wreck, there is a little spot where kids can
create their own vehicles.
Yeah, like it's just a little colouring in spot. It's not on paper; it is on an iPad, and then when you hit submit, your creation goes onto a big projection at the
LCD,
back. And the kids get to see their cars driving along.
And of course,
we did participate.
Us kids over here did see our cars go up
20s.
there.
Yeah, I'm very proud of my car.
Sass's car was beautiful.
Thanks.
I think she saw me starting to shade. I was getting really into it.
Well, yeah, she said, I should do some shading. And I was like, I need to up my game.
For anyone who doesn't know, we're both extremely competitive.
I wasn't trying to beat you. I was just trying to have something that looked pretty.
And I don't want to admit it, but you definitely did.
Thank you. It's not often. Amanda is in charge of the artistic stuff on our podcast and reviews. So it's not often that I get the opportunity to have something.
It's true, you won. You did win.
Thank you.
I did also want to just say, in regards to, I guess this isn't really set, but the design of the curative space, I thought was pretty, it was really well done. There was a lot of different ways to consume and learn from everything.
Yeah.
Whether that be through video, through animation, through artifacts, through reading, or through the audio guided way that we were going through it.
Yeah.
Drawings as well. Obviously the kid-friendly car iPad experience as well. So I feel like this is a really, like Sass has said, super friendly, family friendly exhibition, which I really enjoyed, because it's, like I said, it's just really hard to keep people engaged, and you can just kind of consume it in your own time and go back and forth, obviously, just like any exhibition.
Yeah.
I almost wish that we could see a performance on the vehicle. I think you said this as well.
I did when we were in there.
But obviously that would have been extremely tricky because that would have been live, and then that would have had to be set times.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is engageable in the VR. Who knows? We'll find out. Because I would like to do the VR experience.
Yeah. And I would love to see that car in action. They showed a lot of videos, like throughout the two videos, the video and the projection of this car being used, and the energy surrounding it was just
palpable.
I wanted to be part of their concerts. Like I wanted to be in the crowd.
Me too. Yeah. Me too.
So then we moved on to Cleverman, which is a show that we hadn't heard about.
No.
And we are upset about that.
We are upset about it.
It
looks beautiful.
It looks so freaking cool.
It looks great from the snippets that we saw from the exhibition.
It's hard to create a sci-fi show out of nothing. Like it's a superhero based show. But
which we love. Yeah. Which is so on brand for what we love in a TV series.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No. So yeah, we got into Cleverman. We followed the audio guide for this one. I feel like they had the, what was it called?
Spirit tree?
The spirit tree. Such a cool concept. Beautifully designed.
Very...
Space.
Yeah. And very secluded. Like, individually secluded.
But also together.
Yeah.
Because it was this incredible, like, organic shape molded with some form of material.
Like stretchy.
Yeah. And it was beautiful. My only qualm as a design brain person was that, so in the spirit tree, you get to sit down and listen to stories.
Yeah. Either people that worked on Cleverman, the actors talking about their characters, the producers, or the creator, Ryan Griffin, talking about his conception of it. That's the kind of stuff that you listen to. Yeah. Continue it.
But, so yeah, thank you for explaining that. That was so much better than me. My only qualm wasn't with it was with the design. It wasn't with the stories or anything like that, or the creation of the space. It was just that this was a space where you would sit down in your own solo chair, essentially, put on some headphones and listen to one of these stories that Sass has just explained. But I just wish that there was a button that allowed you to restart because it was just on a loop. And so you'd listen to things most likely midway, 3/4 of the way and 1/4 of the way in, and then have to go through that and then try to figure out where your starting point was.
Yeah.
So I just wish that there was a button that allowed you to just restart from the beginning once you had sat down so you could listen to it in its entirety.
Yeah. Or even just a button where it just says start.
Yeah.
That would have, really been really helpful. I found it really interesting that as we walked into the Cleverman exhibit, there was a group of, I want to say maybe 5 years or 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
That were on some kind of, maybe it was a play group visit or like a
excursion.
Play group. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you.
We got each other.
But yeah, they love the spirit tree.
Yeah.
I think they just like sitting down, to be honest.
I mean, it was a beautiful space.
Yeah.
To be in. That was very graphic heavy.
Yes.
I mean, it was based off a TV, like, kind of explaining a TV series and stuff like that, so it made sense for it to be that way.
And growing characters or growing visual aspects of the show, which is really cool for us to see. We love seeing that kind of stuff with big behind the scenes watchers of shows that we love. So it was awesome to see it. The concept of Cleverman, really cool. Also very confronting.
Yes.
I wouldn't say Cleverman is a show for kids just because of what we saw.
It definitely tackles,
some
pretty
more intense issues.
Topics.
Yeah. They talked about how... There was a video talking about how they wanted to kind of show aspects of Indigenous history but through a different lens. And so there is a mention of the stolen generation through a very graphic scene. Not anything that I would say even remotely comes close to
Yeah.
it. But how they went about it, I think, was very purposeful.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a really cool interactive experience in that section as well, which was where you could choose a character, and it just kind of had these... It was really giving Marvel Cinematic Universe, where it was like the data analysis of whoever character that you had chosen, some snippets from the TV series, what their category, not category, what their
characteristics?
Their essentially race was, because it was between humans and subhumans and stuff like that. And it was just a lot of fun. Like, I think kids would love that. I mean,
She's a kid.
I love anything interactive, so I'm such a fan for that. And it's just another way to engage and just consume information, especially for something that is very topical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite moment from the exhibition as a whole? Or do you want to do one per room?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I don't know.
I think I have one for the whole.
I think
Maybe
I have one
two.
for the whole. I think it was definitely... I think just watching the journey of the wreck. I just found that really inspiring, to be honest. And I think that kind of made me go into a conceptual mindset and was like getting excited for creating things. And as artists, we love that feeling.
We do.
So that put me in such a mood to just want to create from like upcycling and stuff like that. So I was really impressed by that. And it's so funny because it was just a video, but it was about the content that was within it that just was so meaningful and hit home.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I think mine is in the bush mechanics part of the exhibit, where, so as I think most people would know, that if someone from the Indigenous community has passed away and they have been recorded, there is always a warning saying that, you know, someone, at least these Indigenous people have passed, and so that means a lot of people don't get to watch the recordings anymore because of cultural reasons. And so they have come up with this really clever way of navigating through that to still show the bush mechanics, and they did that through claymation. And I just thought that's a really beautiful, great way to show how something from the 90s that is still going on, like bush mechanics is still in practice, and to be able to engage kids in with this idea, I think it's just really wonderful. And I hadn't thought of a way to keep the Indigenous community being able to watch something like that. And I just think it's really clever. Because there's a likeness to them, but it's not their actual self being shown.
Do you have 3 words? I think mine would be inspiring, reflective, and educational.
Yeah. You stole my first one. Inspiring.
Sorry.
That's all right. You. I think we're allowed to have the same
You can
3
use
words.
it again.
Inspiring, definitely. I want to say for the second exhibit, breath catching. Maybe a bit introspective.
Yeah, nice. I think that's better than reflective. I like introspection.
When we like things, we start to whisper.
Well, I think that kind of wraps up
Yeah,
our 7th episode.
it does.
So thanks for listening, guys.
This has been Soraya.
And Amanda. And we'll catch you in the next one where we watch... We watch
Bogan Shakespeare presents King Lear.
at the Heath Ledger Theatre.
The Heath Ledger Theatre.
Our first theatre show.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
Just real quick on the museum. Should we have seen that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Of course. Should we have watched that? Yeah. 100%.
I think so too. It's I love seeing different perspectives, and we, as we mentioned on our Ruben K podcast, it's like, that's what Fringe is all about, seeing things from different perspectives and different ideas coalescing. And so yeah, it's really worth going.
It's very insightful.
Yeah.
And I'd like to go back to go see the VR exhibition.
Which we will.
Yeah.
We'll keep you updated.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.